Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Reasonably Effective Podcast. I'm Ten Types, as I was joined by Uncommon Fossil.
Hello, glad to be here. Looking forward to some fun discussions.
Yeah, and today we are talking about standard and Pokemon cards. However, I do want to give a quick announcement for either next week or the week after's podcast. We're going to be looking at your custom cards, which will be, as I said, it'll be either a week or the week after that. And so there'll be info about that in the Discord server. You submit it. It's pretty normal to how I normally do it, but there's going to be some categories. So I wanted to mention that before we started. But it's pretty normal to how I've normally done stuff. But again, more info will be about that in the my Discord server. But anyways, with that out of the way, we're talking about current standard with ascended heroes. And the format, just like a simple tier list here. And I'm excited to dive into this. There aren't, it's a mini set in regards to, I mean, it's like a special set. It's a big, I mean, I think it's the biggest set ever, but it's mostly reprints, right?
Yeah, it's a mini set, but it's the biggest set ever. Yeah, go figure.
Yeah. But we do have some interesting cards from this set, some that are very good, and then some fun new decks. Just a couple of new decks here, but some interesting things. And we're going to be talking about obviously decks that have been developing in the meta and just things like that as well. But any thoughts on or comments on the tier list itself before we hop into a deck?
All right, yeah. So we're doing S, A, B, C, D. That's how you set it up for people that are listening, just so they know what they are. Are you? Do we want to go? Do we want to fill up all the tiers? Do we want to have something in D tier? Because we've picked pretty solid decks. I think whatever we have, 17
Yeah,
or something. Do we want to
yeah. I don't think
spread it
we need
out?
anything good. Um,
W-
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll put them in how they deserve to be. I could have included F tier, but I certainly don't think there's anything F tier here. Yeah, there very well may not be anything in D tier, so I don't think we have to put anything there.
Okay, I'm pretty sure there's some in C tier anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, to me, I might want to spread it out a little bit more just because we're only considering the top decks, but we're not going to try to go all the way. Okay, that's good. So just wanted before we dive into the decks, the new cards, because it is mostly the same decks. There's a couple new
yeah.
decks.
Oh, oh, I have one question. I assume
Yeah,
we're ordering them within tiers, or relatively ordering them within tiers.
yeah. I think we usually do. That is not as we're not going to go crazy over that because that would probably take a lot of time. Probably need a lot of back and forth. But yeah, we'll kind of put above and below as we work through the tiers, uh, like typical. You right? So you're good with that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're only gonna have cards in four tiers or something. So if
Yeah.
they're all grouped together, it's not gonna be super useful. But yeah, I think yeah, we'll order some, and definitely have discussions about how the decks are. But you wanted to talk about some of the new cards, right?
Yeah, because we have mostly existing decks, a couple of new decks, and then some new cards that will obviously improve some decks too. So we've got of new cards. These are the ones that I'm going to mention. You can add anything you want. There's Mega Frostlass EX. That's its own deck, or it's an addition to like a Monkey Dory Frostlass deck. So that's its own thing. We have Team Rocket's Honchkrow, which is its own deck. Although it's a what Team Rocket's uh, Porygon deck, but
Porygon, yeah.
but this makes it a lot. It bumps up a lot. There's End Zekrom that buffs the Ends deck. Doesn't not as huge a change as say like the Team Rockets deck there, and then Pokepad, which buffs a lot of decks. You know, you know what it does. Search your deck for any Pokemon without a rule box. So awesome for decks that have single prize Pokemon of evolution lines in particular. So we've got these decks that have gotten better, and then a number of decks that are just the same deck too. So but those are the ones that potentially will drop down depending on these other decks getting better.
Yeah. And then I mean, it's also just our thoughts on these decks changing and things like that as
Yeah,
well. I now so the deck of these that I guess I haven't really played Mega Frost last. I actually added it kind of last minute. You recommended that it could be useful.
yeah.
Um, and I was thinking through the new cards. Or I guess you said Frost last, which I've represented by Mega Frost last. But outside of that, I played Mega Kangaskhan was actually the deck that I haven't really played much at all. So I played that, and so now I think I'm familiar enough with all these decks. You also mentioned Pidgeot Control, which I'm moderately familiar with, I guess. I didn't feel quite confident on it enough on it to put it on the tier list, and I don't think it's super good. But Yeah, what deck do you want to talk about? What have you been playing most recently here?
Oh, here. So the deck I've been playing is not here, and it's
Yeah,
a D tier deck, which is the Araboliva or Araboliva, however one says it, which is actually a lot of fun. And it's a type of deck that it works in live. It's certainly you don't bring it to an event because it's not going to go well, but it's a fun deck working that works.
yeah. Oh,
Well,
sorry. One thing with Arboliva actually, because I was looking through the other decks to like find decks that I was missing, and Arboliva was like obliterating. Well, I mean, not obliterating tournaments, but it's like doing. There's someone who's just like doing quite well with Arboliva, which was like kind of fun. I did not add it, but it is something. I don't know.
it's a fun deck to play. Honestly, it's not on the tier list. It's a fun deck because you place damage counters around, so you can really wipe things out. It is what it is. So I'll tell you. Why don't we start? The deck I played when we first said we are going to do this is I looked at Charizard decks and I played a little Charizard. So why don't we start with Charizard, which has been around for forever, and it's very good. I still think it's one of the best card. It's a super powerful card, right? The HP, the ability, the attack. A kind of almost broken card, not quite. It's not as good as it has been as a deck in the past, I would say, just because other things have gotten better. It can play, uh, Pokepad. I don't know that it does a lot though, if it's going to, but it could go with Pidgeot. Could go with something else. You also have the Charizard Dragapult deck. I don't know if that would be a Dragapult deck or a Charizard deck. So different ways you can work Charizard. Could go with Noctowl. That then you probably need a basic Terra Pokemon, but it's certainly still a very good deck though.
Yeah, I personally haven't seen that much Charizard with Knocked Out or played with Charizard Knocked Out very much. I guess that's actually a deck that's like good that I haven't messed with too much. But yeah, I mean, like it's powerful, it's versatile with the Knocked Owl. Um, I don't know, you can like do some bigger things, but it seems a little sketchier as well. I don't know exactly how different it plays, to be honest. Is that I don't really see it that much. Like I still see each other with Pidgeot. I mean, it's not like it's not played. It's played a bunch, but I mostly see each other with Pidgeot. Um, and yeah, I mean it's good. I don't think there's really too much to say about it. It's clearly one of the like very good decks in the metagame, right?
Yeah,
Um, I don't know exactly how good. I mean, as I said, it's not like super versatile. Um, I guess it is a deck that can obviously it runs Dusknoir, and it can run Klefki as well. I think that's pretty common in the deck. I pulled up two lists and they don't run it, but I think that is like relatively common, and that is nice. So you can like really take either big knockouts or do some like amount of spread with that. Um, and because you're unlike Dragapult running Dusknoir, like getting Charizard EX setup is a lot easier than Dragapult EX because it
yeah.
powers itself up, unlike needing two energies. Um, it's ultimately something that you can do easier, and you can like get rare candies easier and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't. I guess it's what like A tier, right?
Yeah, I think A tier. That's what I'm thinking. In a lot of ways, this has been obviously a very good deck for so long. This is kind of the deck that you kind of compare other good decks to in a lot of
Yeah,
ways, right? It's not going to be the
yeah,
best deck, but it's kind of the standard deck that's of the very good decks.
yeah. And I expect I don't know how many decks we're gonna have in A tier, but it's gonna be probably in the higher end of A tier if I had to guess. Um, I'd say it's probably the I mean, there's the top four decks right now, and I'd say it's gonna be the third or the fourth best deck in the. It's probably the fourth.
I would guess that that's the case myself, but yeah, so we'll see. So, is there something you want to go to next?
I guess let's go with another good deck. A deck I've been playing a bit. Just in general, it's like of the good decks, it's the main deck I'm playing, which is Dragapult. Dragapult is very powerful with Dusknoir, not with Charizard. I don't know where I'd put Dragapult Charizard, but I don't think it's like super good slash meaningful to influence these two.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like fine, but anyways, Dragapult EX with Dusknoir, it's really good. Um, the more I've been like playing the Pokemon TCG recently, I've been like, yeah, if you're a good decks that are playing good cards, Dragapult EX is very good. Draco's very good. Badoo's very good. Dusknoir's very good, and this deck uses all those cards very well. Um, I mean, it just like is able to pick apart decks. There's not that much you can do against it. Like there's what like Lily's Clefairy EX. which just trades evenly anyways. It is annoying because it's kind of, as we were saying, hard to set up Dragapult EX.
Yeah.
Um, not like super hard, right? But like harder than some other things. Um, but I mean, you sit behind Badu, your opponent can't really do much about it, and then yeah, that's what you do, and then you eventually you set up and just knock him out. And I am wondering about Klefki in the deck actually, and I might try that out because Dusthorn's like super powerful, and I feel like that could work. But anyways, um, yeah, I mean, I think it's very good. I'd put it in S tier. I do think it is the best deck in the game. Um, I guess I wanted to get in with Pokepad. That's good for it. I don't think Pokepad's like broken for it, but I think it's good. And I guess I will mention the Stadium Nighttime Mine. I do think that Stadium is good. People aren't really playing it, but it increases the attacks used by Terras by one colorless, and I mean, Dragapult's obviously good. Charizard's good. And also there's Sarah GX, which is like fine. And there's also Noctowl and Terra, but there's actually gonna be able to win the Stadium pretty easily. But Sarah will struggle a lot with that. But anyways, like I feel like Nighttime Mine is good as a counter to Dragapult. Like I think it. I personally think it's the best counter to Dragapult. But anyways, I did want to mention that, but people aren't really playing it, so that doesn't, I guess, make it worse if it's kind of card no one's playing. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think Dragapult is S tier.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, nighttime. Obviously, if Dragapult is the best, which Dragapult may be the best deck. I think, yeah, it's S tier. So I think I'm gonna drag it to S tier. And the question to me is going to be, is it the best deck around or not? Very well could be. In terms of nighttime mine, I didn't mention obviously because there's more of a niche card, but if nighttime mine becomes played and you want to play Dragapult, then probably you want Charizard because then Charizard gets around that issue, right? You accelerate an extra energy very easily with Charizard's EX's ability.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They are both Terras, so like you could still kind of run out of energies, but you should be fine. Um, I mean Charizard itself, like theoretically, it's fine against Nighttime Mine, but it only does run like I don't remember how many basics, but it's not that many. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean I think like I don't know. I just think the stadium's underrated, but that's not for today's discussion, I guess. Really, but yeah, I think I mean also Dragapult with Drakeloak, and like Fezidip EX, you can like draw so well,
yeah.
and so or like just like pretty well, and you can like slow the pace of the game down with Badu that like your opponent just can't do that much against you.
No, I mean, yeah, no. Dragapulse, it really once it gets going, it's very oppressive. Um, it's very oppressive. So it's tough. You need to have a way around it. You need to just set up, yeah, and obviously it's tough to one shot. It's limited, very limited to the number of things that can one shot Dragapult. So kind of once Dragapult's going, it's a lot of trouble, and it because of the Drakeloak's ability, yeah, the Pokepad is probably a plus for Dragapult, but because it has its own engine built in, and honestly, an engine, maybe what deck we'll be talking about soon in Goldango, I think Dragapult's Drakeloak engine's better than Goldango's engine myself.
Yeah, I think it's a bit better. I mean, Goldango's engine. Wait, the whole Goldango engine or Goldango itself?
Goldango itself as an engine.
Yeah, I guess I agree with that. I mean, Goldango is. I've said this whenever I talk about it. I guess let's talk about that deck
Yeah.
now. Then, Goldango EX obviously a very good deck. Just cutting energies to do really big damage.
Yes.
Um, and it's paired with Lunatone Stormrock. So Lunatone will give you some, more draw there. Yeah, I mean Goldango. Whenever I talk about it, I say, the really it's called coin bonus. It's a bonus. Yes, it is drawing you cards, but you shouldn't like rely on it too much. I mean, it is good. It's like a really nice bonus. But Drakeloak is like an engine. I mean, we've seen cards like Drakeloak in the past that have been good, not like the most powerful draw engines, but pretty good. And yeah, obviously, it gets you to where you need to be a lot of the time. Goldango EX's coin bonus isn't quite enough. The deck can end up with like really big hands because it just kind of grows and grows and grows,
Right.
and also gets like a bunch of Goldengos. It's not very hard to do. Um, that being said, like then it ends up just a bunch of cards, and like that's kind of it. But yeah, obviously it could do big damage. Um, it's ultimately I don't know. I mean, it's a good deck. I don't know. Honestly, I mean, I see the deck certainly, and I play it some. I haven't played it too much with Lunatone Solrock since it's come out, which has been like, a little while by now.
Yeah.
But I do think that I don't know the deck's very good. Where would you put it?
I mean, I don't think it's as good as it was. At least I don't like it as much as I used to like it in some sense because now we have the Genesect EX too that makes it better. The engine piece that's the interesting counter to the Dragapult is the draw part is on the final evolution, whereas the Dragapult it's on the pre-evolution. So you kind of have you're balancing your engine versus your attacker, whereas the Goldengo you just get the Goldengos and play as fast as you can. So you're probably drawing a lot of times three to four cards of the Goldengo. So you might get more cards in hand. We have a little more agency, I think, with Dragapult. But anyway, it's probably it's an A tier deck, I would think. Goldengo.
Yeah, I'd put it above Charizard.
Okay.
It's between A and S for me. I mean, it is the best one-shotting deck, I think, by like clearly, in my opinion. Um, would you agree with that?
There's another deck that I don't really haven't played in so long. Raging Bolt, that obviously is a beat stick
Yeah,
too, but I haven't played it in so long. I just don't know how it flows these days. That
yeah. I think it's underrated, but like, I mean, I do think Goldengo is better than Reachable at one-shotting and at drawing, like really in most regards. Not that well, we'll get to that soon, but Goldengo is. I mean, it can do. I mean, Raging Bull can like not do enough damage, right? You can like kind of run out of damage you can do. Um,
yeah
so or like kind of. Anyways, but so Golden Go is like one of the best, if not the best, one-shotting decks. Um, yeah, I'd say A tier. I put it above Charizard.
okay. Unless do you want it at S tier? I guess
No, no, I'm fine. I'm fine with A tier.
okay
I definitely think it's worse than Dragapult. So yeah, I'd say A tier.
okay. So yeah so top of A tier. So we did three of the big decks. So where do we want to go next here? Should we do
We go
Gardevoir
to
or no? No.
yeah, sure. Yeah, let's do Gardevoir.
Okay, which everyone knows Gardevoir. Insane. If this is another Pokemon that's kind of broken, like Charizard, um, its ability is just insanely good. On this massive energy acceleration, power makes just this great box style deck with different attacking options. Hit the active, hit the bench. Gardevoir, obviously, we're just talking about now, but it's just amazing how much Gardevoir has reinvented itself over the years, and still just a force to be reckoned with. So it's not I would say it's probably going to be A tier. What do you think about it?
Um, yeah, I mean, this is a deck that I don't touch too like. Honestly, it seems like the way I do play it. I play Pokemon, right? I played a bunch. I keep saying like there are these decks I don't play that much. The Guard was actually one of those decks I like. I don't really. I don't know. I just don't really like. Um, I play against it a bunch, and it's like good. I have a friend who like plays it a lot. Obviously, it can do. I mean, it can do big one shots, right?
Yep.
It can also do there are different things it can do, but it also doesn't really have an engine, so you kind of need to get what you need. It feels like it can like miss. Um, if your Gardevoir gets knocked out, which I mean, there are a bunch of decks that hit it for a weakness. That's bad. But it
Yeah.
hits weakness on Dragapult, which is good with lilies, and that's really nice there. Overall, yeah, I guess I'd say it's A tier. I don't know where to rank it. I do feel like we need to rank these four decks here. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't know where I'd put it. I'd put it. I do think A tier. I guess I'm not sure if I'd put it above or below Goldengo, but I'd put it next to Goldengo.
Okay. I mean, it's going to depend in reality probably how much Charizard comes right to the tournament that you're at because
Yeah,
that's
and
going
decks like that as well.
to because that's going to determine how well Gardevoir does. Because I don't think Gardevoir is going to do very well against Charizard, but it does have a good Dragapult matchup, right? I don't know. It might be as good against Dragapult as Goldengo. I'm not certain, but obviously it's not as good against some of the other big decks. So you want to put it? I'd say maybe put it below Goldengo, but
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
okay,
I think all these four decks are close, and clearly the top decks. I mean, it's not like the other decks aren't like good. There are definitely some other good decks, but these are the best decks. And also, I like said this. I think three to four rotating. I think Dragapult's going to be like super broken, post rotation. And it wasn't like that at first with rotation. Now as the meta is developed in Japan, I think Dragapult's like very very dominant. But anyways, um, so I guess we'll talk about Raging Bolt, which you mentioned earlier. I think
Okay.
that's an interesting deck to talk about. A deck that it's definitely fallen off, right? I'm gonna look on Play Limitless here to see where it stands. Um, let me see. It's deck 10. Depending how you group stuff there, and obviously Raging Bolt EX capable of, as you're saying, doing big damage. I mean it's kind of weird. Like the decks run like heavy Crispin counts heavier than Sada's.
Yeah.
Um, which seems I don't know. I mean, as I said, I don't really play the deck too much. It's a deck I like played some, and I kind of like. But yeah. So you think this deck's good, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a deck I forgot existed for a long time. Just
Yeah.
because it was obviously one of the best decks for a long time. It's very good. As I'm looking at it, I'm gonna say I just called it EUIC has just finished, by the way, and
Okay.
there are a bunch of players with it. The highest place was 25th though, so that's not a great sign for it, right?
Yeah.
Which is probably a fair thing for it. So is it a B tier deck? It's not an A tier deck, right? Um,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like as you're saying, it's not a deck we see very much, but every time, like it used to be a very good deck, right? An A
yeah,
tier deck, and every time I play against it, I'm still as scared of it as when I played against it before.
yeah.
Um, like it seems like it can still do all the same things, and it still seems scary. It still seems like it sets up fine. So yeah, I mean, I'd say at least B tier. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine within B tier. Um, yeah,
I mean, it's not as good, obviously, as the three A tier decks.
yeah.
And they'll have to see with these other lists where it falls. It's a scary deck because it can do big damage and it can just start doing big damage from the beginning of the game. So that's where its strength lies, which is obviously a powerful thing.
Yeah. Um, realistically, it's aim less at these big turn one plays, which honestly are like kind of what make it good. But um, yeah, I mean, yeah, the deck, as I said, is still pretty scary. Then let's talk about is there a deck you want to talk about now or not particularly?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so let's talk about. I guess let's talk about some of the new decks. We'll talk about the first deck on this list actually, which is Team Rocket's Honchkrow here. Team Rocket's Honchkrow, I think, is a pretty fun deck. It's the top new deck. There is also Mega Process EX, but that's like not. I don't know that's different, right? But Team
Yeah,
Rocket's Honchkrow does, if you're not familiar, for two color stones, you do 60 times. Well, you discard any amount of Team Rock supporters, you do 60 for each card discarded in this way. And yeah, I mean, this can obviously do big damage. It can take one shots. It's a single prize deck, which is cool. It can be paid for using either realistically when I'm using not reversal, ignition energy or Team Rocket's energy. So you
right.
have 8 energies there, which is like okay. And yeah, I mean, it can do big damage, but it doesn't have an engine. I mean, you mentioned Team Rocket's Porygon Z, which is technically an engine. I don't know. I think I ranked it the worst engine in the game a while ago because it's not really an engine.
No.
You discard two to draw one on a stage two, once per turn. So that's pretty bad. The Porygon line is a bit of a finisher there, but that's kind of whatever. I guess Team Marcus Articuno is good against Dragapult. Though I can't imagine that matchup's like great anyways, but um maybe it is. I don't really know. It's also not in play limitless here, or regular limitless really. So
Right. I mean,
yeah, I mean
it doesn't have an end. What you're relying on is the Team Rockets package, right? You have all these supporters, and then you have your Team Rockets transceiver, 4 copies of that, and I would imagine you're playing some copies of Pokegear, and then you have like 3 to 4 Team Rockets factory, so you're just getting a bunch of stuff each turn. But if you miss the pieces to get going early, you're in a lot of trouble. But once you kind of get going, once you get your stadium play, if that sticks, you should be playing a supporter every turn, getting some cards, and hopefully getting a few transceivers along the way. But it's it's not the most consistent deck, and I'm not sure if it's going to be the top single prize deck here or not of what we're talking about.
Yeah. Have you played this deck yet?
Um, I played it a little bit. And
Okay.
I do like. I mean, I do like it. It's certainly a very appealing deck to me. Yeah, it's probably it's. I would think it's B tier. That's kind of where I would think I'd place it.
Yeah. How does it feel when you played it? Like, did it
Uh,
feel good?
it felt inconsistent when I played it. Is what I would say.
Yeah, that's fair. I played it. It did feel inconsistent. That being said, it did feel pretty good. I mean, it didn't feel like horribly inconsistent, and it was able to do like big damage when it worked. It was taking one shots.
Yeah.
It reminded me kind of of Alakazam, um, which I think Alakazam's okay. I don't know if I guess I'm a bit of an Alakazam hater. I don't think I'm actually a bit of an Alakazam hater. I think they're just people who just like really love that deck. Um, but ultimately, yeah, I think it's like fine B tier, below Raging Bolt. I'd
Hmm.
imagine. I mean, I don't think there's a huge gap between the two of them, but I do think they belong in the same tier.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is, do you want to play a big rule box basic deck, or do you want to play a single prize deck for what you want to do? I will say though, the Team Rocket Alexam, this is the best Team Rockets deck, right? I'm pretty sure it's better. That to me, I would pick this over Team Rockets Mewtwo deck. I think that the Honchkrow deck is the way to play Team Rockets if you want to play Team Rockets.
Yeah, I think Team Rocket's YouTube slash Spite Ops is getting better post rotation by like a bunch.
Okay.
I guess Hansko is too. I don't know, but yeah, I don't think Team Rocket's Mewtwo is really being played in standard right now very much. I don't know. You mentioned it to me, but I feel like it's not played that much. But like, I could be wrong on that. I mean, like not it's not playing like a ton, but if you played more than I'm thinking. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's not really getting anything from Ascended Heroes either, right? He got that tool. Wait, I don't even think the tool matters with Team Rocket's Pokemon, but it's like not good either.
yeah. No,
The
I don't.
Hypnotizer.
I don't love it. I think that the Team
Oh,
Rock.
it is.
I mean, I think now that we
Yeah,
have
never
the
mind.
okay, so
Okay.
all right, so yeah, no, I think the Team Rockets Mewtwo was the best option before, but now I think we have a single prize deck way to go, and it's just in the single prize decks to me are more fun anyway if it's close. But I think this is the option today. So the top one, so it's a B tier probably, but it certainly is not the worst of these decks we're looking at when all's said and done. Though I don't think that that's going to be the case at all.
Yeah, like when I played it, I'll say it felt like a legit deck, not like a good deck, but like like a deck you can play and you can like
Yeah.
play. You're not just like playing some silly meme deck. It's an actual deck. Um, but then I think I want to talk about Alakazam now. And Uncommon Fossil. What are your thoughts on Alakazam?
I've played a good bit of Alakazam, and I really like it. That's what I'm going to say. And I think it's better than the Team Rocket's Honchkrow myself from my play. And I've played Alakazam more. I find when I play it most of the time, I just the engine with its ability to draw cards, it just goes to town. As long as you set up, and it sets up more often than not, and then it just goes. It's a single energy attacker and just does big damage, and I just find it a lot of fun, and it flows pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the deck is. I don't know. I feel like the deck's not that. I mean, okay, as I said, I've been playing a bunch of Dragapult. Um, so how's the Dragapult matchup seems quite bad, right?
The Dragapult matchup is dicey. So I mean, like this list here is playing that I'm looking at playing 3 Battle Cage. So you probably are going to rely on that some, but that's risky, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I know someone's running 4. I don't know if that's how many do you run when you've been playing it?
I don't remember if it was 3 or 4. It might have just been 3 because obviously you got to set up. But here's the advantage why it's not as terrible as you think. The Kadabra is 80 HP. And then this deck list is running the Dunsparce Ascension, which is what I ran with it, and those get out of play. So you're and you have Shaman, right? So but
Yeah.
that's
Well, that doesn't help
damage.
against.
That doesn't help with that. It helps with other
Yeah,
things.
that'll
So
help with some other stuff.
and it plays side duck because you need that too. But because the Kadabra has to be 2 shot, as long as you get some stage 1, as long as you're not just an Abra, one or two, like an Abra on the bench, you should be able to attack. I was always able to chain attacks. I'm pretty sure when I ran a Dragapult with it because of the way the deck works. So I think it was
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Um, yeah, I think the deck is. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's super good. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think it's okay. I don't think it's like um
Okay.
it's
So
a deck that is very vulnerable. Like you get hit by like Iono, and like there are decks that play like a bunch of Iono. I mean, Iono is a very good card. If you get hit by it over and over again, that's like bad, right?
well, if you get hit by with Iono late in the game, right, that's when you really get in trouble with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you get Iono'd probably 3 times over the course of the game, that's probably quite bad, right?
Yeah, but if they're hitting you early with Ionos, you know that they're using up their Ionos because people.
Yeah.
Palpad's a good card. We talk about it with the top cards. We're losing rotation, but people don't play Palpad anymore, right? It's really fallen off a lot. So they're gonna run out of Ionos, and some people play for Ionos, but now with the Lily, with the other Lilies and Arvin and stuff, you don't necessarily see as many Ionos. So it's
Mhm.
the late Ionos the problem. But what you have to do then is you just have to be discarded. You have to be thinning your hand, thinning. You have to thin as you go as well, thinking about what happens if I get disrupted, trying to maximize your odds with it.
Yeah. So where would you rank this
I mean,
deck?
I think it's on B tier myself.
Okay. Yeah, and where would you put it in B tier?
I'd put it probably middle of B tier. I'd put it above the Team Rockets, but if you want to put Team Rockets Honchkrow above it, I can live with that too.
No, I'm fine putting this above Rockets Honchkrow. I mean, I know you were saying you like it, which is yeah. I wasn't sure if you were gonna say like A tier.
No,
I
I
mean,
don't
it's
think
definitely
it's
worse than the decks in A tier, I think.
no,
But
it's not at that level. It could even be above Raging Bolt, but those are so hard to compare decks like that. So,
yeah,
um, I think between that and the Team Rockets Honchkrow, they're very close decks. I think keeping them next to each other, I think they're pretty close for power level. They feel a little different, and you try them both out, see what works for your style best.
yeah. I think the Alakazam is maybe a little easier. I think Alakazam in general is a relatively easy deck to play. I mean, you could just get like rolled over at times as well.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, and then let's talk about the last single price deck here. Noctowl is not a single price deck. So we got Festival Lead. Um,
yeah.
Festival Lead. Actually, you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, so festival lead, obviously, you got the attackers. You attack twice per turn. It works pretty well. It works well. It functions well in online tournaments. IRL results have not been good with the deck. So I would, I'd be worried about. So I think that's going to hurt it. And honestly, I've struggled with the deck when I play with over time. So I think it's with the Thwacky, once you get set up, to me, the deck is just insane. But I find it doesn't set up anywhere near consistently enough for me.
Yeah, I mean we do a Pokepad, which is very good.
Yes.
Um, that's a nice addition to the deck. I'm looking at this list here. Okay, this plays Trolley. Okay, I like don't. If you don't know me, I like don't like Precious Trolley. So the list I'm looking at. Okay, I'm gonna find like one that doesn't play Precious Trolley. If I can do that, hopefully I can do that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I was like, yeah, it plays like 5 Pokemon Search cards. So this one has like 4 Pokepad, 4 Buddy Poppin, 3 Bug Catching set. Um, yeah, funnily enough, I've been playing Festival Lead in Control, which is like not very good, but it's like kind of funny. Um, and ultimately, with Thwacky is very good, as you were saying. Also, your opponent can like things can kind of fall apart all of a sudden. I mean, your opponent can
Yeah.
like just a Thwacky, and then all of a sudden you don't have like anything, like any search,
Yeah.
which is kind of bad. And then I mean, like again, against something like Dragon Ball, that's bad. You can't battle cage there. Um, so that's bad. You're not like mist energying. You have what like Psyduck, and that's it, which is like something, I guess, but it's not really probably gonna be enough there. Um, the deck's fun. I don't know how much better it gets with with Pokepad. Obviously, it is nice there, but it's not like the deck can't set up without it. So like I think Pokepad lets decks be able to like discard less, and it's like it searches more than most of the other options. I mean, obviously within this deck it searches very well. The only downside is that it only gets 1 card, unlike Boy Pop, which gets 2, or potentially bug catching set, which also could get energy, but can get 2 cards there. um So where would you rank it? Like I don't really know where to rank this deck. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my experience with the deck has been not so good. So I think it's got to go below to me below the other single prize decks. And to me,
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I would put it in C tier, but I'm it might be B tier if you can play it better. I think I think it's probably a tough deck to play myself from my
Yeah.
experience with
Have you
it.
played it with Pokepad?
No, I haven't played it since PokePad came out, so I need to go ahead and do that because it will work a lot better. Because that's when I played it, that's the question is setting up. If you set up, great, but it doesn't always set up, so that will help it set up because now you can get the basic or the evolution, so it should flow a lot better. So, what do you think? I assume you agree it's a B or C tier deck.
Yeah, I'd put it B tier. I mean, I think Pokepad could like push it over the edge to B tier. Over the edge isn't
Okay.
like that high. But yeah, I think it's like all right, bottom of B tier here.
Yep.
I think it's fine.
Okay. No, I think that's a good place for the deck too. Do you want to do the one brand new deck, Mega Frostlass
Sure, yeah.
EX? So
Mhm.
now, to what extent is it a Mega Frostlass deck versus like a Monkey Dory Frostlass deck? Because Monkey Dory Frostlass before this Mega Frostlass came out was an okay deck, and then you can kind of splash in a Mega Frostlass. I think that's probably a better way to go than making it
Yeah.
a Mega Frostlass centric deck. Um, what it does is for one energy on the stage one, does 50 for each card in your opponent's hand, so not bad. But your opponent knows what you're playing, which is why I think you need to have. If you're just playing like a bunch of Mega Frostlass to attack, they're just going to keep their hand size low, and you're not going to function well enough. So you need to have like the Monkey Dory single prize Frostlass to so your opponent's going to have to dig and work and build up their hand size, and then the Mega Frostlass can come in for some big smacks when it's appropriate.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's all of us I've seen have been playing one, or there have also been decks playing none with what is it? Um, I'm blanking on it. Oh, with the Frostlass and Monkey Dory and like the Badoo and stuff. Um, and yeah, I mean that's quite simply it's fine.
Yeah.
Mega Frostlass is more so like the card they use to represent it because it is a new card here. But yeah, I mean I think that Mega Frostlass is a mediocre addition to the deck. It gives you like a potentially big finisher, but as you're saying, like your opponent kind of has control over it. Um, Realistically, it's gonna be your strongest attacker. Aside from Bloomer Saloon EX,
Right.
like even if your opponent's playing with a small hand, right? Unless they're playing with like a one card hand, or like maybe a two card hand, which is like pretty rough for them to be doing.
Right.
So then it's still good. Um,
Ye-
so yeah, I'd say this is. What were you saying?
no, yeah. And there is it could get a slight buff. I think the new Snow Runt is slightly better
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
than the old Snow Runts. Even if you wanted to play just a Monkey Door Frostlass without the EX, the new Snow Runt I think is a slight bump there, but that's a small upgrade. Um,
Yeah, he just won like one matchup, mostly one matchup.
yeah.
So yeah, I'd say
So
I don't know where to put this. I don't think this deck's very good. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, well, it's going to be what C or D tier, right? You're not putting it above C
Yeah, I
tier.
would sound like C tier. I mean, I think
Yeah,
it's worse than the other decks. I don't think it's a terrible deck.
yeah, put it as C tier because like this list I'm looking at plays one Mega Frostlass, which is probably the way I would run it, and it's not the best deck, but it may it might end up being a D tier deck, but it's new, so I want to give it a chance to kind of prove itself. That's my thought about it.
Yeah, and I think post rotation Mega Process. I mean, it's looking like all right. It's definitely fallen off in Japan, but like it's okay. I think with Starmie. But anyways, then I think the next deck I want to talk about. I'm trying to think. There's oh yeah, let's talk Marnies, right? Marnies obviously
Yeah.
Marnies Scrum EX paired with the Frostlass line. Um, I don't like this deck, right? I don't think it's super good. Obviously, Mars Scrum EX is a pretty solid Pokemon. Frostlass, along with Monkey Dory, can apply pressure to your opponent's bench pretty well.
Yep.
But I don't know. I mean, I just can't help but compare it to like Dragapult, and I'm like, yeah, I'd just rather play Dragapult. I mean, yes, that's true for most of these decks, but still. Um,
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
Marnie's
where do you put
Marnie's
this?
the great look. The ability five energies is good. It powers itself up. It lets you put attach to Monkey Dory each turn. So that's the value of it, right? Because that's up. When we talk about Monkey Dory, the downside to Monkey Dory to us is always can you afford to get the energy attached to Monkey Dory? This deck does that just fine, which is good. But compared to Dragapult, it does 180 damage instead of 200, and it does 30 to 1 instead of 60 instead of the 60 spread around. So it's just worse than Dragapult, I would say. So, but it's a good deck. It's, obviously Pokepad makes it a little better. Looking at the win rate is actually very impressive. I think the win rate's better than I would think it should be, but it does seem to perform well. I know it's not the end all and be all, but it's a factor. So I think it's probably a B tier deck myself.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'd put it below Raging Bolt. I think that's better. I mean, I don't think that's like I think it's fine. I think it's probably it's a top 10 deck, but it's kind of whatever.
Yeah, I think put it so below Raging Bolt, above the single prize decks is probably fair. And obviously, a deck like that is what the single prize decks have to worry about with that 30 damage to the bench. They have a way to shield against Marnies as well. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
good deck, not a great deck.
Yeah, it can like pick away at stuff with like Devo and stuff. It can do some big things, but most of the time I feel like it doesn't do big things. Um, but yeah, anyways, so then we've got the next deck. I guess we'll all talk about let's talk maybe Absol Box here.
Okay.
This is also a deck I don't really like, but you got some big Pokemon. I find that I was actually playing a different deck, but it did play some megas, and I was like, yeah, these megas are just getting like obliterated, and I'm getting obliterated because I'm giving up a lot of prize cards here, and the attacks are like fine, um, and yeah, that's about all I had to say about that deck.
Yeah, it's I haven't played it, but I built a Mega Absol deck the last couple days, and I have to start playing it because obviously I do like big basic decks, which is what Mega Absol is. It's a box style deck. Yeah, you have I'm just looking at some of these builds too. So you have the Latias in format, which is really huge for these decks. We have which gives you free retreat. Also, the list play Pekka Runt. This one I'm looking at, my build does as well. So you get the poison, and you have the tool potentially. This one's not playing the tool, but gives you a little boost for damage. So yeah, it's a toolbox style deck. I haven't really sat down to play with it yet. I think it's probably going to be a little awkward and clunky though, so I think it's going to come up a little bit short, unfortunately, at the end of the day. So, I think it's going to be B C tier probably myself.
Yeah, I think it's B tier. I mean, I think the deck's okay, but as you're saying, if you like, I played a decent amount. Do you see this deck a lot?
No, I've almost never seen the deck.
Okay. I see it like a lot.
Okay.
And I feel like I was like talking to some people and I was like, "Hey, are you seeing this deck?" Like when it was like a new deck. People were like, "Yeah, I'm seeing it. It's like so bad." Like I beat it every time I play against it. It's like kind of hard to play. It's not like super hard to play, but it's a little hard to play if you don't know what you're doing. Then that's you're not going to play it very well. And I feel like it has like a high skill floor.
Yeah.
I don't know if low skill ceiling, but like, it's just only gonna be so good. Obviously it can disrupt some, but like it doesn't disrupt that well. And then you are using like this kind of mediocre attacks and this like mediocre engine. Ultimately I feel like the deck is, I don't know, I mean just kind of mediocre, falling short in terms of damage. I mean, you can do Monkey Dory stuff, but like you just need all this energy. Which you like don't really have access to energy super well. You have like okay access to energy, so it can do some fun stuff, but for the most part, I feel like it's just not I don't know, just not very impressive. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about the deck. I don't know. It's kind of meh. All right, so B tier.
Yeah.
I could even put it at the bottom of B tier if you want. Maybe above Festival Lead.
Okay. I mean,
Probably.
certainly in terms of a typical player, you're going to win more with the Honchkrow or the Alakazam deck over the Mega Absol deck, just because I think they're easier to pick up and play than the Mega Absol. I think
Yeah.
Like you said, I think it's a very high floor to the Mega Absol deck, then the question is, I'm not sure the ceiling is high enough to pay off for that high skill level just to play it, you know, okay with it.
Yeah, it feels like you need like yeah. Anyways, I guess let's talk about Mega Kangaskhan as well. So
Yeah.
I've not. I think I said like Mega Kangaskhan was the deck I was playing. I played a few games before this. I actually made a members only video of just my gameplay of that. But so have you played the Mega Kangaskhan like Buffalon deck, or
I have not
have you
played
not? Have
it.
you seen it?
I haven't seen it. No, because when I look at this is why I like look at because like when I talked to you before this, like I look at the Mega Absol deck, and the Mega Absol decks I see play as much Mega Kangaskhan as Mega Absol in their deck list,
Yeah.
and Mega Kangaskhan is in all these different lists in Raging Bolt, and there's just all these decks that really aren't Mega Absol decks that are classified under that, so it's a little confusing.
Yeah. Um, so Mega Abs or Mega Kangaskhan,
Yeah, sorry.
being able to do the what am I saying? Being able to like tank a lot with Buffalon is like kind of cool, but like I don't know, it's so slow. I played it. I know like someone who plays it, but I don't know. It seems like kind of sketchy. Like it just seems like it doesn't set up super well. Like it can buy some time, so you can be at the like, but you're slow, so like you're behind. You can be at it, buy yourself enough time to be not behind anymore, but like at the same place you would be if like just not behind, but you're not like ahead. You're just not behind if things go your way. And then I guess like, if your opponent's like not doing that much damage, it can be very good. But like, I mean, that's true for most decks, right? If your opponent's just like sitting there letting you do whatever, it's
Well,
fine. I don't know. Like I feel like
you
when
see,
the penny like seems awkward.
because here's a list, and this is the type of deck I would play that you would sell as horrible. It's with the Buffalant, the Mega Kangaskhan, and it's playing a couple of Xerosix Machinations, playing a couple Airy, it's playing Jumbo Ice Cream. So it's
Yeah.
so it's trying all this stuff, and I play these types of decks, but you need things to really go your way for it to work, right? You need a matchup that's favorable, or what you need, especially when you play just especially like on online and live, is you need an opponent that's not sure how to play against you, which actually is pretty common, right? In a setting like that, in more casual formats, people are confused, and you can win it. You can end up winning a lot of games just because people misplay against you a lot, but that doesn't make the deck a good deck.
Yeah. And I would say like it's playing stuff like I mean, okay, so so I said I played it like last night. I played 4 games. It went like horribly. I guess I went two
Okay.
and two. But so I think that actually supposed to be really good against Dragapult because you're able to just soak up a bunch of damage and stuff
Hmm.
like that. Because like against other decks, it doesn't seem like it does very well. Because you're not doing that much damage. But against Dragapult, you can like kind of heal off, and they're not gonna be able to get damage on your board. Um, but then it also like plays all these techs like for Dragapult, or it plays like some. It feels like it's going all in on this healing strategy. Healing's just generally like kind of bad. So I don't know. I feel like this deck's bad. Um, Instead, I have a friend who plays the deck and like thinks like is able to like do stuff with it. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I just can't get it going. And when I play against, I don't know. It feels like worse than my Absol box. Like you don't have the options there, and the upside see or like the stuff you're doing in the Magus Kangaskhan is a little better. Taking a little less damage, but I don't know. I think the deck's pretty weak.
Uh,
I don't know. Like C tier,
yeah, that's
I
top of C
guess.
tier, I think, right? I think above Mega Frostlass.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, it can do some all right stuff. Like this is comparing it to like good like decks, not just like random decks you'll find floating around. But yeah. But if anyone like plays it, leave in the comment section like thoughts on it, and if there's anything where we're missing about it. But then let's talk. I guess I don't know. What do you want to talk next?
Was I going to say you want to talk Mega Lopunny next?
Sure. So Megalopony with Dusknoir here. This is a deck I saw for. I think this isn't just me. This is like in general. It was popular. I mean, it's a new deck, right? Okay. It was a new deck from Phantasmal Flames. I was like the new deck from Phantasmal Flames, I think. And I guess those are the Charizard stuff in Phantasmal Flames that like people are. And this is Charizard Descended Heroes too, but people aren't really playing that. And then you're gonna low punny here, and or yeah, you're gonna dust more than you're gonna low punny. You're gonna like do some big swingy stuff. The deck is it's it's okay. I don't know. It's kind of whatever. It's like kind of all in on Dustmore, which isn't super reliable. Yeah, I guess you got Klefki to like get through the side docks, but like I don't know. I just don't think it feels kind of meh, right?
I mean, the problem is I can't find like the list. Like I there's every low punny deck I find is a Goldango deck that plays like a
Where are you
1/1
finding
line.
these golden? Wait, no, look in play limit
All
lists.
right, I'll look at that. I'm just saying it's
Um, you can find them by low punny. Yeah, it's played in.
low punny what Dusknor?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, I can also find it on regular limits. But okay, I don't know.
all right.
So yeah, I mean, it's not like super popular. It's like as it was popular, but I don't know. I think I don't know. It's just kind of meh, right?
Yeah, I mean it's also this hybrid stuff. Like, and maybe this list is atypical, but yes, the Dusknor line, the Mega Low punny that also then plays Mega Kangaskhan.
Yeah, let's
Um,
for a draw.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
the idea is to like send that up as your pivot, like to draw, right? And then yeah, because you can't really attack within the deck. I mean, you technically can, but
yeah, barely. This deck plays 5 energies in total, so yeah, you're gonna struggle to attack with Mega Kangaskhan for sure. So yeah, it doesn't seem great to me. I love Rapid Strike Urshifu, and obviously Gale Thrust is like that one attack there, but it doesn't have the Rapid Strike pieces that went around it, and it doesn't have the second attack that made Rapid Strike Urshifu really good. So I just think it's kind of like this, like like Rapid Strike Urshifu in one, but in like maybe the weakest part of Rapid Strike Urshifu. It doesn't have the Rapid Strike package, and it doesn't do the second attack was the really big attack within it too.
yeah. Yeah, and then you were mentioning like Megalophony Sports, so just like attacking like Goldengo or something. Yeah, so ultimately I think that this deck is gonna end up in we'll put it into C tier as well, probably below. No, I put it above Mega Kangaskhan. Like it can like kind of whiteboards, right?
Okay.
But it's also like not whiteboards, which I feel like is gonna be pretty common. And kind of just get like not be very good a lot of the time. So yeah, I'd say C tier.
Okay. Yeah, these decks are. You have the top decks that are close, and you have some of these lower decks that I think they're also pretty. A lot of these decks are close with just different styles to them. So, yeah, so that's good. Why don't we? How about we talk about Flareon EX,
Okay, okay.
which may be which I've played this deck a good bit, not for a while, but I like the EVs. The Flareon's attack really good. 130, which isn't great on a two prizer, but then you attach two basic energies, search your deck, attach them, so you're setting up your other EVs or itself, and then you're doing big damage the next turn. So, it's pretty good. And then playing it with the Noctowl engine and things, which is really good. Obviously, a nice engine. Also, it could go in Terabox, but that's not what we're talking about here. Although at this point, I don't know if it is. I don't know that Flareon's getting played a lot outside of Terabox right now. I guess I'm going to ask you: is it, or is Flareon a deck that had been its own deck early on, but now has fallen off?
I mean, I feel like it wasn't really ever its own deck. I mean, I feel like it always played like. I mean, it always played knocked out, right? And then it
Yes.
played I was gonna say, I mean, it plays like some Terra stuff, right? I mean, I'm looking at the first list here on Play Limit lists, and it's got like an Ogerpon, a Trapios, and like a Pidgeot. So it's got some like Terra boxy stuff, but at the same time, it's not like it's a bit different than Terra Box. They are kind of similar though. Ultimately, I don't know. I think Flareon's like fine. I
I
don't know.
I mean,
Kind
I
of
think the
whatever.
Flareon deck is kind of the evolution deck, but the Flareon's the key of the evolutions, right? Is that the right way to think about this deck?
I guess, yeah, but and then also it's playing like I don't know, this one just plays two Flareons and a Leafeon. Like it's like very much Flareon's the evolution that you're running. I mean, it's like a good attacker, right? The other
Yeah.
evolutions are not really, um, they're not very good attackers. I mean, they're okay, but they're kind of like worse. except in certain situations. So I don't know. I feel like the deck's fine. It's like a little all over the place and complicated, and yeah. So I don't know. I'd say it's like fine. I guess being complicated makes it like hard for a lot of people as well. So I'd put it into
So I think
B
it's
tier. Like
a B. Okay, I was thinking it might be a C tier, but you think it's B tier?
I could put it like at the bottom of B tier. Yeah, I think it's a little better than the C tier decks.
Okay, because we have Terabox coming up still, so don't include. I think
I mean,
Terabox
they're
is.
pretty
It,
similar. They don't like they have some differences, but they're pretty similar. Just
yeah,
obviously Flareon's like a bigger. I mean, Flareon is like a main piece in Flareon. Obviously, it's not a main piece in Terrabox. Like you're using like Ogre and stuff more. But I think they're pretty similar. I mean, like the way they like their gameplay patterns. Turn one is going to be pretty similar. Yeah.
okay, so bottom of B tier, which is okay. I mean, I would might have made it a C tier. I'm thinking of Flareon as an evolution box deck, which I don't think is as good as a as a Noctowl box deck. So
I mean, I assume you're still playing Noctowl in it, right?
you are, but not but with not the other attacking options that you're going to play in a Noct. Should we talk about Noctowl now since we've been
Yeah, yeah.
because part of it's these distinctions. These decks bleed together a lot, right? Which is what gets
Mhm.
tricky here. All right,
Yeah. I'm just going by the play limitless distinctions, I guess I'll say.
yeah. I mean, when you pull up deck list, that's where things start to get a little weird. So, all right. So why don't you start the discussion here?
Yeah, so Terramox obviously it's using different Terras, and these Terras are going to be Wellspring Soaker Pontiac is going to be a main one, which you do have in like Flareon, but it's going to be like a bigger thing here. You run, I think more. Yeah, you run more Crispins, you run Energy Switch, you run obviously Sparkling Crystal. But you run that in both decks there. You're going to have some different basic options as well, like a wider variety of basic
Yeah.
options. And you can power them up, I guess, easier. You're like you don't have as much of a consistent game plan. It is pretty similar to Flareon though. But ultimately, the deck is able to, um, it can do some pretty big things. You got like Pikachu EX for big damage.
Right.
You have, I know you just have different options. I'm not like this list has Mega Absol here, which I'm not super familiar with in the deck to be honest. I do know it is played. As I can see here, but I haven't really like seen it used that much. I mean, I personally don't really play Terra Box. I play it from time to time. It's a fun deck. It's kind of complicated. I'd say it's a little less complicated than Flareon in my opinion. I mean, I don't really play Flareon much at all. I definitely play Terra Box from time to time. So it's like it's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say it's a little better than Flareon, but I don't think it's a lot better than Flareon.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I think of some of these decks that are a little not the best deck, which this is not one of the best decks again, but the Noctowl engine is insanely powerful. It's really built
Yeah,
around the Noctowl engine, and I think the attackers, it's a bunch of attackers, but I think it's more clear cut with what you should use when than some of them. So I think it is a little easier
yeah.
to play than some. There is the new tool, right, for that works with Pikachu EX, which the deck could play.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Just for new cards, right? I think what your Pikachu EX does 50 more damage. I think is that what it is? What to
Yeah.
is it to Terra or anything? I don't remember.
I think it's EXs,
Okay,
um, which is like what you want to be hitting.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. So I think it's a solid deck. It's I think it's better. It's on the B tier though. I think is where it's going to fall somewhere.
Yeah, I'd say I'd put it personally above Alakazam.
Okay.
Um, yeah. I'm wondering if like Flareon should be higher. No, I think this is fine. I think as you're saying, it's like easier to play, which is definitely very meaningful for this. Like some people kind of like complain. It's like, well, like this isn't just a competitive tier list, but like essentially everyone watching this video, probably like 90+% of the people, like this should be applicable to the average viewer, right? And I think this
Yeah.
is like useful. You can take into account like how to play the deck, um, like how difficult it is, and some decks are like even if you are like a pretty like you kind of know the ideas, it can be quite difficult. But yeah, anyways, yeah, then we got a few more decks here, so we don't have that much time left. We have
No.
a little bit, but. let's talk about, I guess, the last Terra deck, though it's pretty different, which is Cerulege. Cerulege is a deck that I play. I don't really play them. I play like some, but I play against it a bunch. This is definitely a new player friendly deck. It's the simplest deck in the game, I think, by like a wide margin. I've heard some people say about like Alexander, which it kind of is simple, but I don't know. I feel like Cerulege is a lot more simple. You just discard a bunch of energy, you do big damage. I guess like don't deck yourself, but like you shouldn't deck yourself out unless something's gone like really weird. So ultimately, you're able to do a lot of damage. It's relatively easy to do, but it's not like quite as good at one shotting as like some of the other decks, like Raging Bull and Goldengo, and I guess also Alakazam there. There also seems like more of a glass cannon, but yeah, I mean the deck is able to. Oh, you have Briar as well to recover, especially against like Goldengo. That's going to look really nice for you. The deck's fine. I mean, I feel like the deck's pretty good. I feel like it's definitely a B tier deck. Um, yeah, like upper B tier.
Okay, so with the Lunatone Soul Rock engine, right? I don't know if you had
Yeah.
said that. So upper B tier, yeah, it's a deck I haven't played yet. I should play it. Um, yeah, so upper B tier, I think it is fair for it. Um, yeah, that's so I want to put it.
You think where to put it
I, g- I, g- I mean, I would probably put it above Raging Bolt then, right? You think?
above Raging Bull? Okay.
Well, how effective is it? Do you think?
I mean, it's like pretty effective. I'm not exactly sure how effective Raging Bolt is, but I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine putting it there. I mean, I think of you as like a bit of a, I don't know if it's Sarah hated, but before this year, like, yeah, that I'm just gonna like really want Sarah Ledge on here.
Yeah, no,
It's good.
yeah, no, you're more of a fan of it than I am. But I mean, looking at it, like I would think, like I would think I probably would do better with that than Raging Bolt, just picking them up, having not played almost no Sarah Legend, not Raging Bolt, not a while. To be honest with you, and I think even against the single prize decks, you're going to set up and work well. I'm thinking like I probably prefer that in a matchup over like all these B tier decks. So I think it's a fair place to put it.
Yeah. Yeah, and this feels isn't like for like new players. It's for like everyone, but this is like the deck. I mean, like, so I've been like introducing some and seeing a bunch of people introduced to the Pokemon TCG, and like this is the deck they've been introduced through. Um, Except for someone who introduced someone through Gardevoir, which is pretty bad. But I mean, it's a good deck, but it's certainly not good for new players. But ultimately, Sarah Ledge is yeah, I think it's pretty good. Then we got a couple more decks here.
Yep.
We got Mega Lucario. I'm just gonna say I don't think Mega Lucario is good. I think it's kind of bad. It's played a good amount, but I honestly think it's like the worst deck on this list. Or, I don't know.
Well,
I think it's pretty bad.
I was just looking on regular Limitless, and the highest place at EUIC was 530th, so that's not a good sign for it. It's simple to play, so I think if you're
I
new,
guess.
I think it's pretty new player friendly in that sense. If you want to play, it's obviously a very powerful stage one tanky. Sorry, it's no, I guess it's not that easy to play because you got to kind of manage things because you're not doing huge damage and you're a three prizer, so it's tough. I played it a good bit early when it came out. It was an okay deck, but you are, especially up against good players, you're gonna have a tough time uh, taking your six prize before they knock out two of your Mega Lucarios. I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, and you got like some cool things with Hariyama. You can use some fighting stuff well, but Mega Lucario EX itself just isn't super good. So I would say it's the worst deck here. I guess maybe better than Mega Frostlass slash just Frostlass box. Um, yeah, I'm not confident on that. That's a deck I see Mega Lucario a bunch. Actually, I was playing Mega Kangaskhan. I played against Mega Lucario, which I lost. That went very badly. But yeah, I'd say it's a little better than Mega Frostlass. It's
Yeah,
like okay. It's not like complete trash, but like um, it's not great.
I think we'll place it second to last of the C tier. I will just say this quickly in terms of Pokemon, it might be the worst of the main attacking Pokemon just in and of itself because it's not a very good deck, and it came out with Premium Power Pro and Fighting Gong, which are really good, and it still
Yeah,
struggles. So that's a sign that Mega Lucario is a bad Pokemon in and of itself.
yeah. Um, but anyway, so Mega Lucario not great. The other fighting Pokemon we got here is Cynthia's Garchomp EX. Cynthia's Garchomp EX is definitely it's a a deck that can do some stuff kind of similar to Mega Lucario, but one, it's not a Mega, and two, I'd say it like functions just a bit better. It's got maybe some more options, but I don't know. It feels pretty solid. I think it's all right. I mean, it's not like amazing. I'd say it's a B tier deck.
Okay. I mean, I don't love the attacks. 100 for one, 260 for two, and you discard all your energy. I'm not getting excited
I mean,
about.
it's like the same thing as like Mega Lucario, but like like you can boost it easier with Cynthia's Garchomp, or no, with Cynthia's Roserade. This is a deck I played a bunch.
Mhm.
I mean, it's okay. Like it's not amazing, but it's
Yeah,
fine.
and the Cynthia's Gabite has searches for any Cynthia's Pokemon once per turn, so that's very good. So that
Yeah,
ability.
I mean, it's
So
kind of like countering out Lunatone Solrock, with Mega Lucario.
yeah.
But yeah,
So where do you want to put this on the list then?
somewhere in B tier, I'd put it above Mega Absol, personally.
Okay, between that and Honchkrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that
Um. Yeah.
I was thinking somewhere in the mid B tier, so that's fine. And then the last one is Enzoric EX, which has been a great ability with trade, but a very underwhelming card for engines, which I was always thought it would be just because it's a two prizer. And then its attack potentially Night Joker copy any of your ends bench ends Pokemon, but it hasn't been a great set of cards. It does get a nice buff with the end Zekrom. I still don't think it's great though. So
Yeah.
but it's not terrible because the engine, so it's probably going to be in B tier somewhere, is what I would think.
Yeah. I was just like say what Ensarcom does if people don't know as well.
Oh
It
yeah,
does 250. It can't attack next turn, but that's like pretty good. It's not like amazing, but it's decent. Able to I mean, it's just pretty good. Right? It's a lot better than Ends Reshiram doing 170. It's all 80 more, and Ends Reshiram is like okay and was like the main attacker for a while. So yeah, I
yeah.
mean, I'd say End Zekrom is it's a really nice boost to the deck. But yeah, I mean, wait, so where do you say you were like thinking about it?
I mean, it's going to be somewhere B tier, I would think, right?
Yeah,
Again, that it's probably lower B tier, but
yeah, I could see it. I'm gonna just put it right below Cynthia's. I'm wondering if I could even see a little higher. Like I think obviously the cards with the decks within the tiers are pretty close. I'd say the
mhm.
cutoff is kind of like Marnie's is like in the better half of like is the beginning of the better half, or maybe Terror Box actually. And I'd say that Eds is not in the better half.
Yeah, so it's below below Marnie's Grim Snarl somewhere, right? Above the single
Yeah.
prize decks, you think, or below those?
No, I'd put it below Garchomp, honestly.
Okay, below the Garchomp. Okay. Um,
Yeah, maybe we're too low on it, but I don't know. I mean, I'd actually no, I'd put it actually above the single price decks.
okay.
Um,
So right below Marty's Grim Snarl, between that and in the Terra box, right? Or is no
uh,
Terra box
no, tier
is a
box. Yeah, I put tier box above it.
okay.
Um, Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty close in that group there. Ultimately, the new Enzekrom is nice for it, but I just don't think the deck without Enzekrom's particularly good. So, while I do think it's better, I don't think it's like super good. But anyways, that's the podcast episode we have for you today. But we hope you enjoyed, and tell us in the comment section what your thoughts are on it. I was gonna say make sure you like watch till the end, but obviously that's too late for that. But yeah, if you yeah, I mean, I hope if there are people who skip till the end, make sure you like watch the video, right? I guess that's what I meant to say there. And yeah, if you're in the comments and someone like clearly didn't watch the video, then tell them. But anyways, so we hope you enjoyed and tell us your thoughts down below. And as I said, we'll be doing the custom card thing soon. There will be info about that in my Discord server for submitting stuff. But we hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell on our YouTube channels, 10 types in Icon Fossil. You can also listen to us on podcasting platforms as well. But if you have comments, leave them down below on YouTube. We hope you enjoyed, and as always, we're excited to see you in the next episode.
Take care.